Okay, so we are in Trimble Capture. We're going to look at some scan data. I already have a scene created, the X7 data. I'm going to open this up. You can see nothing's in here. Trimble Capture is just essentially a resting place in a export specific the.capture file for forensic specific software. So anything scanning, you're going to launch Perspective, because Perspective is the interface with the X7 and the X9. And you can see I already have scan data in here. So I've got 4 stations. Everything is registered together. And this RP1, RP2, RP3, RP4, those are the points that I captured with the GNSS data. And I also did observations or precise points to these ground control that we're going to use for Pix4D. So I did precise points to these and used for georeferencing. And now I'm going to import the file. Import this file. So this is our X, Y, and Z coordinates that we got from the GNSS data. And I did see that this initially had a parentheses 1 by it, like this. I think that's something that I did in Capture. But what we want is this, because we're going to import this into Perspective. These names need to be identical to what is in, don't say. So see how RP1, so they're named exactly the same thing. There's no parentheses, there's no additional numerical or alpha values. So it's going to auto match these for us if the name is exactly the same. So I'm going to go into our georeference project, and it's going to ask you this. There's no control points in there. Do you want to import these? So this, of course, this CSV of the ground control points needs to be, on an external disk, something plugged into your device that has Perspective on it. So I'm going to import these ground control points. So this is the local grid that I created inside Reveal. And they are X, Y, and Z coordinates, and I am in international feet. So if everything goes correct and everything's named the same thing, this is what you're going to see. So it computed all the matches automatically because the names were the same. You can see our errors, and these are very minimal. We're talking about millimeter type errors that we're seeing here. This is in tenths of a foot. So that's exactly what I want to see. And then you can see our overall error is 0.014 feet. So that's on all of these combined together. Doesn't get much closer than that. I'm going to apply that. So it's going to reorient to those ground control points. I can close out of here. So now you see they're green because they are georeferenced, and has a little globe there. So now this scan data is oriented to the GNSS data that I took. So now anything I do with my drone and my imagery, it's all going to be correlated together. So that's kind of the nuts and bolts of that. And then, so we need to actually export this back to Capture, and then we're going to bundle up a .capture file when we get to Capture. So I'm going to export that. I've already refined the registration, export project. Replace that. I've done this a couple times. shows you this is where I saved this project. Now I can go back to capture. And now we're pretty much, we can close this scene. And here's our, so we actually need to export this as a .capture file. I'm going to put this in kind of a new folder here I'm creating for this. This is the Trimble Forensics workflow. So I'm going to export this .capture file, and I'm going to call this, you don't have to do this, I'm going to put a GR for georeference because I am going to do a non-georeferenced. I'm going to show you how to do it in RowWorks. Export that. Okay, so the hash file goes along with the .capture file. You can save that as well. And now we're done with capture. Show you kind of the results here. So that's what I created. That's the .capture file. So this can be taken into both Reveal, and then we can also extract the scan data and take it into RowWorks, which we are going to do. So that completes this section.